Hey chat, how we doing today? I'm sorry, I can't get over the fact that of the first stream of Pride Month, like the first day of Pride Month internationally, that was the first song to show up, which is not only comically funny to me, but also probably fairly fitting. Anyway, how are we doing today? I'll be honest, I a little bit tired, but to be fair, that pretty funny joke has gotten me a little bit more riled up than usual. So, animation stuff. Uh, I have not looked at this today, and I probably should have before stream, but at least you guys can see the process of which I figure out where I need to do adjustments and changes to the animation. So, also I need to make a note here. All sorry, I'll just do if all. Reduce exaggeration of squash and stretch. Because I've come to the realization that I maybe have exaggerated the movements of the ball slightly too much. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, I would like to have it be a little bit more reasonable. Okay, so this is frame locked, yeah? Okay, cool. So that stuff there. Around 166. I don't have to write a note for that because I know for a fact that I need to calm down the exaggeration just a little bit. Get these two here. That one's probably fine. And then, where is this? It's like a bit further on. So, around about 600, I think that was. Although, to be fair, I have notes for that in the past, like in this set here. Yes, I still have this open. So, like, I've already got a lot of these noted down. I do need to double check through them. And, yeah, the roll at the end. Okay, so as far as animation is concerned, this is actually almost done. But I just need to do some edits. So, the main one here is... It feels like it's snapping too much, so I wonder if the follow through for this is maybe too sharp. We'll see though. I wonder... This looks fine, right? Also, why is that so much faster now? It shouldn't be that quick. Why is that 26 frames a second? Hang on, this is at 24, no? So why is it at 26 frames per second in animation? What the hell? E2 Blender? What is your deal? It should not be going any faster than that. Okay, so it is actually staying stable now. So those need to be less exaggerated. Just everything in general needs to be slightly less exaggerated. But like this stuff here also needs a lot of work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of the animation and then I'm going to go back and edit through this stuff. So I'll banish that for a second. And let's see what we've got going on here. Nope, not meant to do that. I wonder if this needs to be, shouldn't need to be extended out any further, I don't think. I think what I need to do is, so this here, I need to drag the handle forward a bit before returning it back to its original position. Because if I don't do that, it just looks like it stops abruptly, where it really shouldn't be doing that. I should also... If I look at this handle here specifically, yeah, it doesn't move at all, and I'm just wondering if I need to do a little bit of tweaking with that. So, I'm gonna bring back the dope sheet. So it does that. And I want this to sort of roll forward slightly. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X on this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alt that. So it goes here. See how it looks. Okay, it seems a bit strange. I wonder if this still needs to be... Oh, interesting. I didn't give it a return position on this. So how many is this? 1, 2, 3. So I need to alt this and duplicate it. And then this one here, I'm going to cross like that, so it does a little bit of wobble. So I think it maybe goes forward a bit too far. I mean, like, the speed is fine. So maybe I only wobbled it slightly. So it stops there, but then it... Why is this off? This should not be. So it does that. Wait, I thought I... Okay, never mind. So it does that, and then... It sort of... It seems to be really weird. Sorry about that, chat. Just had to cough. So it looks over. Yes, off. I wonder if it needs to skid forward slightly. Yeah, I think what's happened here is that in order for it to have the full experience, it needs to drag forward slightly while it tilts. Like, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, but it does need to be a bit. So, from here to So that's the correct position. Is and this one here I can just cheat it, yes. Very slightly. Okay, I think that's good. So if I do this now, yeah, that looks so much better. So it actually has to, like, yeah. So it, like, has to rock backwards and forwards. So it's like it's skidding to a stop. I might give this slightly more exaggeration, I think. Just like a smidge more. So when it's dragging, it looks like it's actually trying to stop itself. So it bounces along. Okay, now the animation here, all of this, so every one of these needs to be pulled forward by, let's say, 10 frames? And then, yeah, it needs to do its funny recoil thing. Okay, not bad. So now it should try and look backwards. Okay. Oh. And I need to make sure that I grab the bone parts. And now that I can see what this one's doing. The problem is it seems to be going straight as opposed to like okay, there we go. What's that easy? I've okay, for like a rough comparison as to what I've done with this animation, I've basically turned this ball into the spherical equivalent of a green heron. And that's actually pretty funny to me. And then, yeah, I need to give it a bit of time before it decides to roll out. So, what I've been thinking about doing, I'm just going to bring back the annotation tool for just a moment here, is instead of just having it, oopsies, instead of just having it be that roll out, what I could do is make it jump up a little bit before starting to rotate. Like, do a small jump and a flip before it rotates off screen. So, we'll see how that turns out for me. So, that's along. And then, yeah, that tries to go off screen too quickly. Like, it literally starts Wait, what is that? Like 4 frames? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 frames after the fact. It should not be going off that fast. Should be like, hello? All of them? Thanks. Should be like another 12 frames at least. Now I wonder why that area is grey. Like a darker grey rather. It might be because of the bone calculations. If I calculate this, I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference here. Yeah, I guess something else must be causing whatever this is. So it looks back. Okay, I still think that's a bit fast. I'm gonna give it another 8 frames. Surely that should be enough time. Yeah, at least for the roll-off, I need to still take into account the bounce before it rolls away. Who has messaged me? Oh yeah, it's just Foxy sending me messages of his, like, pictures of his dragons, which honestly, like, fair enough. Love that for him. He's got some rare dragons that are apparently worth a lot of coins in game. And honestly, like, I'm happy for him. Like, he's really going above and beyond to get all these rare dragons, huh? So yeah, I need to do something with squash and stretch, but first of all, before anything else, I need to do something about this. Also, I need to update all paths. Also, oh, not that one. Alright, let's see how the exaggeration fares now that I've done that. Ooh, okay, that's a bit weird. What has gone on there? I have done something weird with this thing. Yeah, that's not meant to do that. Why is that doing that? Okay, that should not be there. Did I accidentally put this in the wrong position? What the hell have I done? Okay, yeah, that'll probably do it. Except it's still... What? Hinlo, hey Foxy, how you doing? I'm trying to figure out what the hell I did to break this thing. Weird, it's like it's actively moving, but it should... Oh, the x-axis is moving. That's why it's acting so weird. So if I look at this for just a moment here. Yeah, the position of the X is taking a while, but it is moving. That's why it looks so strange. So what I should really do is duplicate this and move it over to here. No? It should be working. Update paths. I'm alright. Okay, there we go. Now it's fixed. Would you happen to know of a name I could give to the green Amaris, the brighter colored one that I showed you? So, brighter green dragon, like the, aquatic looking one, right? Like the green and light blue one. Honestly, I feel like this one, being the way that it looks and being moon themed, I think you should name it Neptune. Like, on God, like, it's perfect because it looks aquatic. It's not, though, but it's also, like, star themed. So I think, like, a planetary title like Neptune would probably be a good fit. Yeah, I think so. Ooh, like in the name? So 605. I'm gonna drag this. And then I need to duplicate this over to 634 so it doesn't do weird stuff. If I update all these, it should now. Yeah. I might give this. I might backtrack this specific one. Like a few frames, maybe. Why is this one staying selected? Should not be selected. Say 2 frames of this. Alright, cool. Quite fitting since it also has shooting star element. Yeah, I think it works. Also, I named the first one Green Beam because I thought it was fitting. Yeah, they're understandable. Also, these are quite uneven. That's fine though. I'm assuming it's the same case for the rest of these. Yeah. Actually, come to think of it, why are these in such weird positions? Like, the movement here is fine. Oh, it might be because, the top handle has slightly different positions depending on the bounce height, so yeah, I shouldn't be concerned about that at all. What I do need to be concerned about is the fact that some of them are particularly sharp. So 639. Oh. So, like, a frame or two before I want to make it jump up and then rotate. So, I think maybe about 624 seems a bit excessive, so maybe this one? Well, not excessive enough, rather. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I can just duplicate this one. So it is that. I went ahead and sent you pics of the Amaris on my main account since I figured you would like the colors. Okay, bet. Wow, that is really pretty, actually. Like, those are some really nice colors. Like, the black, purple, and yellow one, that's really fitting for a star-related dragon. And then obviously you got, like, your other nebula colors, like the black and purple with the pink highlights, and then the black and... I assume that's actually dark blue and not purple for those two there. So, like, black and dark blue, and then having a pink and purple one for separate highlights. Like, that's really interesting. Full mutation. One of the right's legendary color. Oh, it transitions between those? Okay. That's rather impressive. The one with the yellow is its default colors. That's... honestly, like, that's pretty good design. I have no notes. Also, because the other two are on my alt. Yeah. So if I grab all these, I'm gonna have a 9 frame, so it bounces up. So next frame. So have a Alt G on this frame. Or no, actually just insert keyframe key set. And then next one. So 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, that's a bit annoying. Okay, cool. I'm happy I managed to get the default one, to be honest, because it's literally my favorite one of all. I mean, fair enough. I can see why. Like, it's a really nice coloring scheme. So it does that. Might need this to be slightly smaller. Actually, no, I don't, because I still need to deal with the... Okay, it's starting to get a little bit messy, chat. I need to make this one. No, not all that. If I had waited until now to get that default, it probably would have been like 5 to 6 million coins, and I do not have that much. I mean, completely understandable. Like, assuming that they've nerfed all the kinds of money making that you could in that game, like, that's going to be quite a rough thing to try and deal with. So I'll be on that frame. Oh, trust me, they did. Yeah. As I said in a previous stream, like, I remember when the Peach Farm used to be a really huge thing. Like, that thing would get you several million coins basically overnight. And I basically used most of that income to get an Oranga, so... not my proudest moment, but, you know, it is what it is. I remember I used to AFK farm on the game and sell so many fairy jars and other stuff for a lot of coins, but now they aren't worth that much. So that begs the question, what is the best money making strategy in that game now, since they've gone ahead and nerfed practically everything at this point? So, Vector, scale that up, scale this, that. I guess getting rare dragons and selling them, yeah, that sounds about right. So now I've got to make sure this thing doesn't have jiggle physics on the up and down. Playing during events, getting potions and dragons and selling them, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, I feel like with any game of that variety, your best money making method is basically community based at that point. And I'm gonna be real, like, I am not a fan. Like, this is hilarious coming from the person who used to be really into like community related going ons with basically any game. But trading in the community is just not something I'm fond of this day and age. Why is there another action here? Oh, it's because that's the top of the bounce. Okay, now why is it not stretching on the way? Oh, it's because there's no thing there. Also, I need to quickly check something here because this is what add-on is that's putting the frame numbers on top of the object. It's not an add-on, it's actually just the motion paths. So if you go into your armature data and go on the motion paths, it will basically just calculate all that stuff for you. I also have it set up to my quick favorites. So you can just go into motion paths, calculate, gives you a bunch of options. I prefer a round frame because it gets a lot less messy that way. And calculate, it's just there. No add-ons required. How you doing, Elijah? So I gotta calculate that one again. Trading has only gotten worse since you last played. I don't doubt that for a minute. Like, assuming that they've nerfed basically everything, like, it's gonna be absolutely cutthroat with all the rare dragons. Well, the few that are left anyway. So, moving along. Need to grab this one. And then I probably need to add in another bounce while it's rolling. So, like, if I did a rotation here, I'd probably be able to get a better idea of what it is I'm doing. The problem is that there's no... I'm a little bit stuck here, chat. The problem is that there's no movement to indicate that it's going to do a roll when it's in midair. So, like, yeah, there's the bounce, but, like, I'd need some sort of force in order for it to start rotating. At least I think that's the case. So what I could do is I could do the same thing I did for the last assignment. And basically for everything that I've been doing here so far, and just have it anticipate into like a bounce that goes along. So something quite like this. And then have it rotate in the air anyway. But then that begs the question, like, oh, why wasn't it rotating before? So maybe bouncing is not my best option here. Maybe having it anticipate backwards and then forwards into a roll is probably the smarter play here. So that's just what I'll do. So grab all of these. Basically just grab everything related here from this point forward and delete those. And yeah, I need to get rid of these frames as well. Oh. Okay, that's loading here. I don't want to be doing that. So location of the body and the X specifically. Not the X, the Z specifically rather. So now I can just get that to anticipate backwards before rolling forwards. And update all paths. Now why is this one? Okay, this one. I think it's just this last one. So that starts rolling on that frame, so maybe I want to have it anticipate backwards on frame 660. So grab that. But then I also need to anticipate this as well, so four frames before it starts rolling. Do so. So it does that, does that. But that's a bit too fast, isn't it? So like, I want it to slow anticipate backwards before quote unquote shooting forwards. So maybe move this forward several frames. So then it anticipates backwards. Is this too fast, I wonder? So it does that. So it does that, goes all the way back. Grab that. So like it goes backwards and then it starts rotating when it starts moving forwards. So it rolls back. It needs to like really anticipate that. And that needs to start the frame before, like the end needs to be right before the frame starts moving. So that's that, goes back. Might even duplicate this and move it for like 4 frames. Move those forward 5 frames. And then this slot here needs to be moved that much, I think. But it doesn't actually... Interesting. So the acceleration is going to be a bit of a problem here. But if I set that to linear, it's probably not going to be the greatest move. I can give linear movement a try though. In this case, it might work out, it might not. I'd have to take that into consideration. Problem is, it takes off quite quickly. So if I play this, yeah, there's like a singular pause. I wonder if I have to move this one on top of the frame that starts moving. Let's see. Actually, I failed to include something into the mix on how to earn money in the game. Farming food and selling it is a very good way of getting money as well. Coconuts and dragon fruit are both extremely high in value, so they're worth quite a lot if you sell them in huge numbers. Yeah, that's what we used to do with the whole peach thing, right? Like, we used to farm a whole bunch of peaches and then sell them. So, it's similar, it's just that it's shifted to a different type of food, I assume. Okay, so if I update all the paths. Yeah, and there used to be crystals. There used to be? I'm pretty sure I still had crystals in my inventory, no? Must be imagining that. Anyway, I'm gonna remove the passive out for a second here, or just dim it, so I can see what's going on with this. Also, this cuts off early, I think. So this probably needs to be at 750 now to account for that. They removed them several years ago when they did the whole renovating project. Okay. I could have sworn that I still had some in my inventory, but I'm not going to check that right now. Not in the middle of stream, at least. So now I need to use the spin modifier. So this entire time, the spin has not been used, but it has put a metric shit ton of keyframes in here. Like, I do not need this many keyframes for rotation. Actually, no, it's not. It's showing me the keyframes for all of these and not just the spin one. So, good thing I didn't delete those. It pissed me off when they did, since my extra base was surrounded in those max crystals. I was farming the hell out of them since they were worth so much. That's rough. Did they replace them with anything? I actually forgot what the function of those was supposed to be. So I need to insert keyframe here. In fact, I actually need to remove all these for just a moment because I need to set just a singular keyframe in the white because that's the only one that matters here. They were healing crystals? Oh yeah, that's right. Had small ones and big ones, and yeah, you could heal your dragons with them. Can't believe they got rid of those. That's wild. Let's try... X 720. Sorry, Y 720 rather. So now we've got that. Now I just need to make sure this thing doesn't over-rotate. I'm gonna set up a new note here. I'm gonna make this probably a dark blue, or actually probably a light blue would be a better choice here. Yeah, they replaced them with bandages, which is kind of boring, but you can't really complain about it since I really use them. Yeah, I like bandages did used to be a thing as far as I remember. Okay, so that's definitely over rotating. So I need to go into the because I can just edit it from here without having to deal with all the rest of this crap. Let's drag it down this much and see what happens. Okay, it's still very much overrated. Those. Thankfully, my over rotation, under rotation issues I've been having with these assignments are not nearly as bad as it used to be, but it's still not great. Also, I need to set these to vector, I think. Because I'm still dealing with the ball rotating in a pretty linear fashion, so I mean, it's technically cheating, but like, who gives a shit at this point? So yeah, I just need to edit this down a smidge. And that should be fine. Okay, it's still slipping just a tiny bit. Still a little bit there. Should be just about, yeah. That seems about correct. The only good thing that happened when they removed a lot of certain items was that they gave you the value of all the resources you had in the form of coins. So when I got on the game after that happened, I was a rich man who, since I had a shit ton of those crystals. Yeah, I think I remember something about that, but it's been quite a while since I played it, as I've said. Okay, that still looks weird. Yeah, it like pauses. It's okay, it's not even the fact that it pauses, it's the fact that it jumps. Like that thing, like the movement there needs to be accelerating into that movement. So what it's doing here is see this? It's suddenly jumping from this position to this position. Really, I think this actually needs to be auto clamped. And this one, did I change all of these to be? There we go. So like it does move correctly in this case. I think the move forward needs to be a bit faster. Like it really needs to be snapping forward more or less. So that is the squash trait. So yeah, that needs to be accelerating forward a lot faster than it is currently. So if I grab the graph editor, it's the X that I need to. I wonder if I change this one specifically. To be vectored instead. I think that works. Although now I think that the ball is not quite rotating enough. We shall see. Good lord, the local motorbikes are out in force today. It's a bit silly. I feel like it's still wrong. Maybe it needs a little bit more anticipation. So I duplicate this. And now I update paths. Okay, that's not too bad, I don't think. It seems a bit strange, though. Like, maybe it needs to actually not be raised up in the Z. Maybe it just needs to be kicked back further in the X. So, X. Duplicate that. Okay, that works a bit better, I think. Now, is it actually moving the correct speed? That's the real question. Is it... Actually, I think what it is, I think I need to have this move forward a bit faster to give it the momentum that would require in order for it to move at that particular speed. I know this probably doesn't make sense to the rest of chat, but in my mind it sort of makes sense. So this specific frame here needs to be moved. So it rolls backwards and then forwards. Ball go boing. For real, ball go boing. So that should be traveling... The problem is it's like it distorts a little bit. So I wonder, instead of using the squash stretch, I should actually rotate it backwards instead. But the problem is then it doesn't have any movement to truly indicate that it's going to be going that way. Because, like, when it moves, you expect... Oh, Tumblr. What is Tumblr? I have not done anything wrong, I swear. What is this about? Why am I getting notifications? Oh. Oh, that, it was over a image that I posted a couple of days ago. Do y'all want to see something that I made based off of my dreams? Okay, I'm gonna grab this. I made this off of stream. So, this is the first image. And then, this is the second one. So for context, I had a dream that I was sitting in a car with Herobrine and he backs into a parking space, like in a public car park, And then I just felt prompted to make this set of images because of that. So yeah, that notification was somebody on Tumblr seeing that and liking it. Oh, that's so funny. Just like, no, absolutely not. Okay, I don't think it's skidding. It does seem to be fairly consistent. Should I post that to the Discord server, Foxy? I feel like maybe somebody there would get a chuckle out of it. So it goes forward. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine. Yes. Okay, I'll post it after stream because like I've still gotta, finish what I'm doing here. So it does that. And then it just rolls away. Alright, let's just watch this back from the start of the animation, and then I'll work on the over-exaggerated stuff that I still need to get rid of. So, does all its stuff. I think the exaggeration for it looking over the edge is fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Now, this here. I wonder why my brain is pinging this as being too sharp. I don't... It might be... Okay, I think the squash stretch is over-exaggerated, and that's what's prompting me to think it's too sharp. Like, that squash probably needs to actually be half that at this point. I know I changed it a long while ago because I thought, oh yeah, it would look better with a bit more squash and stretch, but it really doesn't. So, I'm gonna half every squash stretch interaction here. So like that is fine, but the actual squashing, all of this needs to be halved. So this also needs to be halved. Alright, let's play this back then. Now that I need that. Okay, that is so much better. That doesn't look nearly as sharp. Although the movement here probably could do a little bit work. Maybe like 2 frames before as opposed to 3, maybe? It's a bit rough to tell sometimes where the actual movement is supposed to be. So yeah, like more immediately goes into that when really it shouldn't be. So 1, 2, and move that over, and then how many gaps is there? 1, 2. So 2 space gap. 1, 2, and then move that along. Same with this. 1, 2. Alright, let's try this. I think that looks a bit better. It doesn't look as sharp. Actually, no, it definitely looks actually even more so than before. So I wonder why it would be so weird. Also, I need to double check the movement of these. So also, something else I need to check as well is the position of each of these. So that still arcs just fine. So I'm not concerned about that, but this sharpness is a bit weird. I'm wondering if the Z height needs to be halved for this. Let's try... because this isn't in the correct position. So it probably needs to be around about... oh great, the uncle has started the lawnmower, yippee. So yeah, I think what I need to do is I need to clear the bone paths of this and start editing these so it actually aligns a bit better with the path. Now, if I play this, I feel like the movement is still way too fast. Like, this isn't 24 frames a second, I don't think. I wonder why. Like, this is driving me nuts, chat. It feels like this is not right at all. I wonder, is there too many bounces? Is it spending too long with the ear? Like, what's the deal? It might be because it's spending too long with the ear. We'll have a look. I could have sworn that it wasn't in the ear for that long. Let's try this. So hide that. Yeah, it still doesn't feel right. Is the down too sharp? Hmm. I need to work on that one a bit later. Okay, so this exaggeration here is way too much. So... so this movement here is way too much. It's also flipping into the floor. So, Probably need to have it like around about. So frame 109. Yeah, it feels like it's way too squashed here. So that needs to be a lot tighter than it is. Okay, let's try this. So looks up. Okay, maybe it's a little bit too subtle now. Okay, so maybe just a smidge more in the Z here. Like, not too much, you know? Like about that much. So it does all that. I think maybe the exaggeration on these could stand to be just a little less steep. Oh boy, what have I done? Okay, don't do that, you dipshit. Oh. I think maybe that much would do. Why have I got so much stuff selected? I don't need this much stuff selected. And duplicate this frame over here. And now I can update the paths. It should be fine. Okay, the elongatedness of this ball probably be a bit weird, so thinking move this one down too. That one, duplicate it. Huh. Charles hearted my comment on something that I apparently left a comment on. I don't remember what that was. Really? What was it? That one there. I find the asymmetry to be more organic in this case. So it needs to be considering its movements a little bit longer on that particular frame. Something on his newer channel? Oh, right. Fair enough, I suppose. I'm sorry, I like extended that by a huge margin. Why is it? Try another 6 frames. That's it. Okay, yeah, something's gone wrong here. Okay, so that was the last time that was normal. Yeah, so it still has. I think that's its less. Yeah, it's its less stretched out appearance in that case. I think maybe I need to pull this specific set of movements here back 2 frames. Okay, now grabbing everything this time. Let's move it forward like 20 frames. Okay, and then it should start moving. It's still... Oh, I know why, actually. It's because I don't have the spin control enabled. Like, I really should have that enabled when doing this. So now it should do that. Should look back, and then when it moves... Yeah. It's because I didn't have the spin control enabled that it was being a bit silly. So... Like, I think this actually needs to be moved up quite a fair bit. If I'm going to be real with you, chat. Update all paths. So this one here needs to be moved up quite a fair bit, as does 534. It needs to be well up at this point. So this here, this movement here, you see how it's doing this weird acceleration thing? So you can actually see it by looking at the gaps between the keyframes here. So this movement here needs to be faster. And the best way I can think of to do that would be to... Let's have a look at the graph here for a second here. So this is on frame 538. So maybe I want these two to be connected. No, because then that just really messes with the movement. Okay, that does that. Okay, that helps, but it's not going to... Oh, that's acting really weird, actually. Why is it doing that? I just noticed this here. So this right here. Probably needs to be... Where does this need to be in order to fix this issue here? Maybe only one of these needs a different handle type. So I wonder what would be the thing to crack this. Because even if I removed a keyframe, like if I move the keyframe here, it's not really going to help much, I don't think. Let's try moving this too. Okay, that's a start. Oh. Now, the problem is, for some reason, on frame 538, it does that, and I don't really want it to do that. So why would it do that? $537, $538. Why would it do that on 538? Why would it move backwards? There's nothing on here indicating that it should be moving backwards. Maybe these need to be moved down a little bit? No, because that just makes the problem even worse. In fact, why is that keyframe even there at all? What the fuck is going on? Wait, huh? Excuse me? So why would it want to? Weird, okay. So that's fine. Maybe this needs to be moved. Okay, that works a bit better. So now it's actually accelerating up into this. But for some reason there's a weird slowdown here, so maybe these here need to be vectored. Ah, but if I vector them, it's not going to work too well. Maybe these two need to be. That moves extremely fast now that I think about it. Yeah, that moves like a bit too fast actually. Like it really launches off the ground. It shouldn't be that hard, I don't think. So that's actually less of an issue with the top and more of an issue with how fast I'm launching this off of with the body. so this one here, the z-axis. So yeah, that doesn't need to be nearly as fast as it was. So I'd rather it not do that. Okay, I need to make these free. So it rolls up into there. Now, for some reason, this here is not duplicated across. So, 1, 2, 3. Like that. Alright, let's have a look at this. Okay, the antic on this one here, this antic needs to be addressed. Okay, I'm going to address that now so it doesn't detract from me reviewing the animation. So that needs to be halved. As does this. This needs to be halved as well. That's a bit better. Now for the rest of this. Alright. Cool. So I need to fix a lot of the anticipations on this, just so it's not nearly as springy, I suppose. Yeah, it feels weird that the... Also, this needs to be zoomed out. Like, a lot more. It feels like it's rolling too much. Like, does anyone else see this, or is it just me? I got another drag. He might like Cyclonic? Okay. Sure. I wonder if the anticipation, like the actual bounce is too much. Actually, no. Before I do that, I'm going to save an incremental of this before I start faffing about with that. I'm going to divide that by 2. Just divide all these by 2. Okay, so that's 4. Yeah, and then divide this one. And this one by 2 as well. Alright, let's do this way. I think that's better. Wait, did I see a problem with that? I don't think I did. I think it's just my... Because I, like, looked at chat for a brief second while this was playing, and I thought I saw an animation issue there. But I did not. Center? Okay, sure. Yeah, I think the animation's looking pretty good. Oh, that's a really pretty dragon. Okay, I misread what you sent me. Like, I know you said it has all 5 mutations, but I thought that said it has all 5 nuts, and I was just like, why does a dragon have so many nuts? Like, does it really need that many peanuts? Does it have pistachios in this bitch? Like, what the hell's going on? But no, it says mutations. I wonder if editing the movement of the top here to be a bit different. Okay, I'm gonna try basing this off of like these here. I'm gonna move it slightly further down. So like move the... Actually, I need to move it across, don't I? Figured you might like the Burb Dragon. I do in fact like the Burb Dragon. Thank you. So, where is this? So maybe I need to move this back across. I think I might need to move these all back across. Because the idea is to have these arcing, but not like extremely so. Honestly, really love its colors. It's seriously fitting for it. Yeah, I think so. Like, the light blue and dark blue scheme is quite nice, but to be fair, it's not really common for a bird to have that specific coloring, but the yellow certainly fits. Okay, that is so much better. I guess the, contact with the ground was a bit too rough. So as long as I edit the contact with the ground on the platform, like, I should be just about right. Like, it doesn't feel as sharp anymore, thankfully. It might just be because my brain is gaslight gatekeeping and girl bossing me into thinking that it's fine, but we'll see. Now for instances of 206. Like, this here is quite rough. Like, if I move these across and update the path, see how it's pretty weird? Yeah, that could definitely cause an issue. So, what is the problem? It's the fact that it's already leaving the ground here. So maybe I want to move this keyframe back one. So move this across by one. And then move this across by one. So now, yeah, the arc is more smooth there. And then, where is this? Update paths there. So now these are smooth arcs. I think the reason why it looks so jagged is because I had them not really doing anything up until that point. Funny story relating to it. It was put up for auction for like 25k, I think, and there were 2 or 3 different people fighting over it because it had 4 mutations originally. Then I just broke it up by throwing down 500k on it, and nobody bid on it again. It was hilarious. Like, honestly, like, they saw the big banknotes roll out, and they were just like, nah, I can't compete with this. Like, screw that. So, yeah, it makes contact on this frame. So, like, this first bounce is going to be a lot less jagged. It's just trying to get these smoothed out. Like, in all honesty, this probably doesn't need to be nearly as far along. So this one here I can get away with putting in the original spot. So this one right here. Now this one doesn't need to be moved nearly as much. So it bounces down. Alright, let's have a look, see how this is going. It's up. Okay, that looks nice. I just need to probably get a little bit of double check at the timing, but other than that, like, we're almost done here, I think, chat. Now, this here, I think I probably need a slight tilt on this. So it bounces along. And yeah, I think I probably need just like a smidge of rotation on this. Just to give it the illusion of it wanting to stop here. Now, figure out what's going on with this slot here. This is around 179, it looks like. Yeah. So it bounces. In fact, the impact is fine, but it probably doesn't need the extra squash here. So I can probably get rid of this. Probably get rid of this one. Actually, I'll just keep that for now. Because it does add a little bit to things. But I want it to sort of tilt forward. Like the one from earlier. So it does that. And then I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. Alright, let's try that. I just had a big brain moment. I think it's the best idea I've had. Okay, well, spit it out then, Foxy. Let's see what you got. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's watch it without the markers. Probably could do with a little bit of X movement, but we'll see. Okay, now this slot here, I probably need to double check the movements on. Because that first one is quite rough, actually. I wonder if I need to... It leaves the ground on the next frame, so I think I move... Where is it? Yeah, I moved this back one. The two Amaris on my main was gonna breed them together to make another baby, but since one is male and the other is female, but if I use both of them to co-hatch, and that means I get two for the price of one, which means I'll have two whole Amaris to sell for coins. Yeah, because can't you co-breed with your alt account? If that's the case, like, you could just co-breed with your alt and then just get a whole bunch of them, no? Or am I misunderstanding how that works? I'm gonna... In fact, maybe I should move this forward one frame. And then I want to move this forward frame as well to give it better anticipation on the top. Yeah. Nope, it has to be an Amaris, which I already used on the alt. Okay, so I'd have to find someone with one. So how does co-hatching work? Like, can you only co-hatch once per dragon? That seems a bit superfluous, no? Like, I feel like you should be able to co-hatch multiple times with the same dragon, I would assume. At least that's how a reasonable person would set it up anyway. Okay, now that's just moving forward too much. No, certain dragons have specific cooldown times. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. In fact, I think I remember something like that happening when I tried co-hatching with an Oranga. I think that was also time limited. Well, dragons have shorter times because they're common. Yeah, that makes sense. Problem is that it rolls too much. Maybe I need to... And then... This one here... Except for Radion and Mother Dragons, they have 6-day cooldowns. Yeah, that makes sense, though. Because, I mean, like, have you seen the size of those bastards? Like, I would have... Like, any longer than... Like, any shorter than 6 days, rather. And I'd be a bit concerned about their health and safety, you know? Yeah, lol. So then I want to move 406 over. Okay, the arc on this one's a bit weird. Like, I want to move this down. Like, by a lot. Okay, first of all, that needs to be moved over. To here. So then that does that. But then I also need to move this down slightly to account for that. The problem is 417, it like immediately teleports, which is not great. But I think I have a little bit of leeway to move this. No, I don't really. Okay, so I need to select all of these. And I need to move it by 1 frame in this direction. To give it enough room to read. Which is kind of dumb if you ask me. Oh wait, hang on. And seasonal event dragons never used to be breedable until a couple of years ago, and Maris is a seasonal. Seasonal and event, if you breed them, you won't be able to trade nor sell them. They are stuck on your account forever, which is kind of dumb if you ask me, whatever. Wait, so if I'm reading and interpreting this correctly, you can only sell seasonal and event dragons that have never bred before. But apparently, you can't sell the ones that you've bred, but you can sell the ones that have hatched out of eggs. Am I getting this information correct? Because if so, that is the most asinine and dumb shit that I've ever heard in my life. And I have heard some dumb shit in my life. You've got to be kidding me. That's how it works? Like, who designed it like that? Like, come on now. Like, you would think I would have heard the dumbest shit known to man having moderated Roblox/Minecraft channels for years now. But apparently this trumps all of it. Like, huh? How did you manage to find something dumber than the average comment section of a YouTube channel? Incredible, really. Like, there are a lot of words I could use to describe that, but reasonable is certainly not one of them. I'm thinking this looks a lot better now, chat. I think I've gotten rid of all the janky stuff from the bouncers. Yeah, I think I've got it. So, I fixed the mid-air bounces. I've double-checked the timing of the mid-air bounces. Frame 183, what was this about? Just bounce to make transition smoother. Go back and forth wobble to play more basic. What is this? 420? Okay, yeah, I've already fixed that one. That was this section here where it wobbles backwards and forwards after it's finished popping. 556. Did I do 556? Okay, yeah, I've done the overshoot tilt for the stopping of the movement. We've already done that. Squash and stretch for looking. Have I done that? Yes. So I've done the squash and stretch for looking. Squash and stretch for indication of rolling movement. Double check the reduce exaggeration for squash and stretch. So all I have to do really now is fix this here. This needs to have a bit more momentum associated with it. But only for seasonal event. I guess they did it so they could keep their value, but what the fuck is the point in doing that if you keep bringing them back anyways? I have what is possibly a crackpot theory, but this is just my idea. So, if you're... I'm just double checking this. You can trade, not sell them. So, my idea is that you don't want to accidentally sell your breeding dragons. So, what they do is, if you're actively breeding them, they lock them out of being sold. So you don't accidentally give away your breeders. Is the only thing I could think of as to why they would want to do that. Because there's no point in preserving the value, especially if you can sell the resulting eggs or baby dragons. So that would be my only reasonable theory as to why they do that. You know what? Fair enough. Yeah. Because, there have been instances in games where, like, especially, like, say, Power World, right? Like, I've had instances in Power World where I've done this. So, the thing with Power World is that you can very easily breed, obviously. But just as quickly, you can actually get rid of them by accident. Because, like, you can condense them, you could, like, do that sort of thing. You could accidentally butcher the wrong one if you're not paying attention. So, I think what Dragon Quest has done is that they have made it so selling your breeders, you can't do that. Because, like, you don't want to lose them. But anything that you have bred is absolutely fair game. At least that's my theory anyway, because if it was all about preserving value, there is no reason why you should be able to sell the results of said breed. No reason whatsoever. I have no idea what the hell my uncle is doing out there, but whatever it is, it certainly doesn't sound joyous. What the hell is he doing? Oh, he's using a leaf blower. That thing probably needs to be replaced. That doesn't sound healthy for the machine, I'll be honest. Like, it sounds like it's grinding something in that machine. So this here, this needs a smidge more forward momentum, I think. The problem is if I forward momentum this thing, I'm going to have to change the forward momentum for literally everything else in this. And that's not going to be easy nor fun. Like, the tilt forward is fine, but, like, I feel like it needs just a smidge more momentum. I think the easiest way to do that is to graph editor the body. Save this first before I do anything, because there is a good chance that if I faff about with this, I may very well break it. Okay, so it stops movement right about. So it moves forward. So it needs to be keyframed at the point where it tilts forward, basically. So the point this thing finishes tilting forward is on frame 188. So I need to go to frame 188 on the body and insert a keyframe. Grab everything that isn't, like, everything that is not a part of this section So everything from this point onwards is fair game, and now I want to grab this in the Y very slightly and pull it up. I want to make these bigger. Okay, so I need to make these two specifically vector handles. Or actually 3. And then... Okay, come on. Leave me be. So make that a free handle. Make these ones specifically vector. So now we should... Yeah. Have that little bit of extra movement that it needed. So I just need to double check the timing of everything. So it investigates. Investigates even more. In fact, what I could do, right, is this section here. The top movement here probably could be a bit faster. So that's fine. This could be a bit faster. So grab everything here. And just hold just a second moment. A second moment? Okay. Say 2 frames should be a bit better here. Okay, so this takes slightly too long. I feel like this needs to be pulled back as well. Alright, so what's the time of this? Okay, something's gone wrong here. Yeah, something's definitely gone wrong with this slot here. Alright, did I not have everything selected? I should have done. Maybe I didn't. Weird. Okay, so I said 2 frames for this one. Actually, no, not for that. Minus 2 on that one. Actually, it's minus 2 here. I wanted the pullback to be a bit faster. And I said this one was slightly too long as well. Okay, update all the paths. Now if I've done this correctly, it shouldn't be doing that weird wobble thing here. Go. jump up here. Now, if I've done everything correct, this should give a little bit more of a sense of momentum. Yeah, exactly like that. That's exactly how I wanted it to go. So hopefully, when I submit this shouldn't be too bad. Like, there's going to be a lot of nitpicking of the stuff that I do in this animation, and that's fine because that's what the instructor is there for. But as far as like all of the minor momentum stuff that I wanted to do, I think I've gotten everything that I wanted. And while the x-axis has changed a little bit for the animation, like it's not so much so that everything is off. It's just enough to give that extra bit of momentum to the ball. Alright, I can save that as an incremental, and then I am going to end off the stream like that. Pretty triumphantly, no less. So, hopefully tomorrow I should have an actual character rig that I can start animating. Unfortunately, it is ball adjacent, so I'm not out of the woods yet when it comes to that. But besides that, I should be doing, I think it's overlap and follow through, I think is the next sort of stuff I need to do. Alright, Twitch side, do I have anyone for you to go and pester? It does not seem like it, unfortunately. Everyone is offline. So, I shall see y'all tomorrow.